Okay, so back to what I was saying about um, what they're able to do with their technology is to only repeat your thoughts back to you to make you think that it's you. That's what I wanted to say. Um, yeah, they want you to think the thoughts being repeated back to you are your own thoughts, but they're not your original thought. Your original thought came from you, and then they repeated it back to you, like I said before. So that's one way of explaining what I mean by our thoughts are not always our own. Now, it can get trickier. I can't really go into the details of how they can go back and forth with you with your thoughts, because you think you're thinking all these things on your own and they're coming from you, coming from your own mind, but really they're coming from somewhere else. So it's like you're battling other thoughts. It's all in your head, but yet there's more people than just you in your head, and you're trying to fight them off, and you're trying to make sure that you know what your thoughts are, and you separate those from the thoughts that are pretty much implanted into your mind. This sounds crazy saying it, but I don't care because it's true, and this is what's going on. People that don't know about this, like I said, if you look at Brian Two's videos on remote neuromonitoring, you'll understand what I'm saying here. And he mentions multitasking a lot, and that's actually something I would like to make a video on as well. I guess that helps break up the patterns, because what they do is they monitor patterns. And every time you react with the same pattern, it's easy, or you react with the same thing, or rather, you react every time to a certain thing, the same thing that they want you to react to. They know, okay, she's going to react this way, or he's going to react that way, so let's try to repeat this again so she'll react that way. They know they're going to get that response from you, so that's why they repeat it. So whatever you repeat, or whatever response or reaction you give to them, they know what to implant, they know what to create, so to say. They create scenarios. Here's the thing. I'm going to mention something else because it needs to be known. The way that gang stalking works in relationship to this remote neuromonitoring is that gang stalking is there to provoke you. It's there to upset you. It's there for you to react. It's the thing that wants you to take action, or to just react. Or there has to be some sort of, like, they're the cause, and then there has to be some sort of effect they want from you. A reaction, a response, something. And what they do with that reaction or response is that's where the remote neuromonitoring comes in. And they monitor your responses. They monitor your reactions, your facial expressions, your feelings, your thoughts, your next move. So many things are connected to this, and it's like they can monitor and see, almost like a web, of your thoughts, your feelings, everything related to your reactions. They can really hone in on it and repeat it again to you when you least expect it. That's usually what I noticed, is they try to throw it at you when you don't expect it. Now, getting back to the thoughts are not always your own. And when you're speaking to a family member, they say something hurtful to you, they're not always saying these things from their own mind. I don't think. This is not what I think. I think what's going on is whoever's monitoring, whoever's surveilling, and whoever's in charge of torturing this person remotely, I don't know if they all do it, if they do the torturing and the monitoring in one, area, or even with one person monitoring. I don't know how all this works, but what I'm trying to say is the person monitoring the victim is implanting. This is what I think. A lot of the times when we think that a family member or a person, whoever, it doesn't matter, it could be a stranger, it could be anybody. When we think something negative is being said, sometimes, not all the time, because we definitely know that people could be nasty and rude and just straight up abusive with their words. But what I'm trying to say is there's cases where I think they, as in the surveillance team, is trying to implant these thoughts into other people to provoke you in a roundabout sort of way, where you think that those thoughts that were coming, you think that your family members' thoughts were their own, and then they acted on those thoughts. They weren't actually those thoughts, their own thoughts. That's what I'm trying to say. In some of these scenarios, I don't think that their thoughts are actually their own. I think that's something we have to consider when trying to figure out who is to trust and who is not. We really have to look at many things. Weigh out the options. And it helps to write things down and to look at them clearly in front of your face, and you can start putting the pieces together almost like a puzzle. So once you start doing that, you start coming up with these ideas of what this could be. And that's good. That's good to think like that. Well, this could be like that because blah, blah, blah. And then you have your different reasons. And like I said, you put all these things together, and hopefully you can come up with some sensible explanation as to what's possibly going on. And it eventually all starts to fit together, and then it makes sense. And that's what people are doing on YouTube. But see, here's the thing. You could find out all this information, factually, and there's evidence. And like I said, there's patents out there. There's U.S. patents out there. And I told you guys that I was going to mention some of those in my video. I know I said I'm going to do it in this video, but I'm going to have to do it in part 3 because I don't have the actual patent numbers in front of me. Yeah. Gonna have to do that, so appreciate everybody that has been listening. Another thing I want to say is I know that obviously my identity is not being shown, and it's for various reasons, but you can obviously see the reason why I don't want anybody really knowing who I am right now. Maybe eventually I will reveal my face and my voice, but it's not that I'm hiding who I am, because if someone really wants to know who I am, they can find out. It's not really that hard. But I choose not to give that information out readily to just anyone, because obviously this is public. So I appreciate, people just listening to what I have to say, whether I have a face or a name or, even a voice. I just want to get the message out there. And I didn't want to use a computer voice. All right. Talk to you guys soon, and I'm going to make the next video and put those patents in there. Okay.